What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So guys, I won't lie to you, I am pumped for this video right here because just before I turned on the camera, I was doing a little bit of reflecting on what a crazy time it's been for myself, but not only myself, those who are over at the Patreon who get to share every step of the journey with me. All right, it has been phenomenal levels of returns all round. And essentially, guys, listen, that's why I'm hyped for this video, because we are getting prepared to do all of that again. You already know what we're looking for is we are looking for big returns in these markets. We're talking 80, 90, 100%, 125, 150%, that type of region. Okay, that's the level of returns we want to make from our market movements, our trades. And listen, guys, we do that through the options market. Okay, so I know some of you guys are brand new. I know some of you guys just found the channel today. I know some of you guys may not even have a brokerage account. But what exists in the market is a subset called the options market. And that is where we operate to generate these types of returns. Okay, so I'm not out there buying individual stocks, hoping and praying that's going to go up 5%. No, I'm using the options market because the options market delivers that 100%, that 125%. Okay, I get questions from you guys all the time about what's the best brokerage, particularly from my UK people. All right, so big up my UK people. Interactive Brokers, Webull, and Tastyworks is going to be your best brokerages if you are positioned in the UK. If you're situated in the UK, just hop on, grab yourself one or all three of those brokers, and you'll be able to start just getting into some fire opportunities in the options market in less than 24 hours. Okay, so it's very easy to do. That being said, what I'm going to do, guys, is give you guys a little bit of structure to approach next week. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to be looking at next week, right? So a couple of individual names that just have phenomenal setups, phenomenal opportunities, big money potential going into next week, so that you guys have some structure, you guys have a couple of names to focus on, and it gives you guys a bit of guidance. Because I know if you're going into next week, you may not know where to look. Should you look at Palantir? Should you look at Nvidia? Should you look at Apple? Should you look at Google, Microsoft, whatever the case may be? So this is going to give you guys some structure, give you a tailored approach. And that's just going to help you guys to ensure that you are operating in the right lanes. I always say that. I always say what I'm trying to do is get you guys to operate in the right lanes. This video is going to help you with just that. All right. So you can see on the screen one of our Patreon members. All right, big up Raul. Absolutely killing it with me this year. This is one of his Google positions. This is one of the last trades that we took over at the Discord. Now that is very fitting because the first thing I want to speak to you guys about is Google. All right, so what you're looking at is Google right now. And if you look, Google's had a 2-day sell-off. Okay, so while the rest of the market was a little bit tame, some names maybe moved up a little bit, Tesla being one of them. Okay, Google sold off. As a matter of fact, Google sold off about 2.5%, down to about 191. It was at about 196. So you're starting to see what we call a retracement, a pullback. This is just normal. You see this all the time in the market. But the key thing is monitoring and having an understanding of where it has pulled back to. Google has pulled back to 191. Okay, it can go, but the thing is, it can't go too much lower, right? Or it shouldn't go too much lower from where it's currently situated. Why? Because there is good level of support here. And we know this thing wants to make a pass at that key 200 psychological level, right? And things are in its favor. Got a good fundamental, good technical setup with this one. And this one is going to go over $200. That being said, this one presents a very nice reversal opportunity. Okay, so I want you guys to make sure you're in the Patreon, right? Because I will be sending out trade opportunities, breakdowns, targets, and a list of names that we will be focusing on for next week. And this will be one. So you're going to get the entry price, the specifics on what to do, the contracts on what to take, right? Because we want to be making a good 100% on this one. We already made 100% 2 weeks ago. We want to be making 100% next week in the markets, and we're gearing up for just that. So make sure you're looking at Google, right? Solid name to be looking at for next week if you aren't already, all right? So that's a good one to kick off the video with. The next name is going to be Microsoft MSFT, all right? Another name with big potential, huge potential. This thing hasn't even breached this previous high that I put in earlier in the year at $470. So if this one isn't already, this one should be getting you guys hyped, because huge potential here, 100%, 150% in the options market, right? Remember guys, we're not just going in buying stock. Leave that to those that don't have the levels of information that we share around here, okay? So Microsoft has so much room to go higher, okay? This thing has room all the way up to like that 480 range. Currently it's sitting at 440. That's a whole 10% from where it's at now. Bear in mind, you already know how markets move. That 10% could be materialized, done and dusted in a week, okay? And if you convert that over to the options market, a 10% move in the options market, guys, you're talking like 200%, okay? So this is a name, again, just like Google, amazing levels of structure, amazing levels of support that the market has gone and reinforced in this one around that 440. All right, so I'm calling out some levels for you guys. Make sure you're in the Patreon, because you're going to get all the levels there in the fine print. So you have the exact step-by-step blueprint to follow. But 440 is a very good level of structure here, and we will be looking to execute on trade opportunities on this one. So MSFT should be on your hot list for next week, right? Two phenomenal names, guys. I'm going to keep going. Tesla's another one, all right? Should be looking at Tesla for next week. Currently hitting all-time high, 436. This thing still has plenty of room. What this thing is doing now is it's in discovery mode, okay? It's in discovery mode, and when things are in discovery mode, things can get pretty crazy. They can get pretty wild. But before, it can get pretty crazy, pretty wild. However, what I want you guys to be aware of is the scenario of a potential pullback. Again, just like Google, just like Microsoft, what we're seeing out there in the markets is the creation of phenomenal levels of support, phenomenal levels of structure. And all this does, it just means that your call options will print huge if you take advantage of pullbacks. But here's the thing. This is why I have the Patreon community, guys, is because when the market does pull back, 99% of you guys looking at me right now, you will not have the balls to jump in, because the market is very clever in creating anxiety. Okay, it's fine-tuned that over the century in creating anxiety in you. So you're going to have a massive pair of cojones, guys, to actually go ahead and execute when you need to. And executing when you need to, that's what's going to deliver you the 100%, the 150% by jumping into the relevant call options, okay? So as I said, make sure you are with us, doing it together. I don't want you guys just out there alone, like lone wolves, searching, rummaging like little foxes, trying to find these opportunities on your own and not really getting any feasts. Okay, we feast all the time. Come and feast with us. I want you guys to join the collective, join those of us over there just absolutely crushing the markets, doing exceptionally well. Don't be a lone wolf, okay? That's not how you want to operate. You want to join a team, a strong team with a very strong leader. That is what's going to take you to the next level and the next level and the next level, okay? Too many people are just out there trying to be lone wolves, trying to do it on their own. That's not the way to succeed. Tesla's one you should be looking at. Phenomenal levels of support. Pullbacks are call option entry opportunities. Remember, we get into call options when we think the market's going to go higher. This is one name you need to be looking at for next week, all right? Now I'm going to throw another name out there, or should I leave it there? You guys already got so much sauce from me today as it currently stands. That is a very strong watch list that you've got. All right. Let me just quickly touch on this one. I'm feeling nice today. Now, those are strong names. Those are call option names. Those are names where retracements into levels of relevant support, you execute on call options. There is another name brewing in the background. I haven't taken a position on this one, and that is Uber, because this thing is getting pretty crazy. The lower it goes, the bigger the opportunity becomes. Now, that doesn't mean that you jump in and buy anything tomorrow. No, that's not the way to do it. You want to see this move into what I call a position of strength. This is what I teach the guys during one-to-ones. I always teach them how you go ahead and identify and recognize when an instrument is in a position of strength or weakness, because when you're able to do that, you're able to understand what its next move is going to be. If you're able to understand what its next move is going to be, take that to the options market, you're going to be rich. Now, Uber, once this thing gets into a position of strength, it is not there yet now, so there's no move to make. But once this has happened, I'm telling you, this is going to be huge potential, massive, massive, massive potential. And remember, I told you guys that. And this happens all. Remember when, for example, listen, when Tesla was plummeting like a rock for most of this year, when Google was plummeting because there was this speculation around the breakup of its business units and the market was selling it off. Guys, look at where those plays are now. Uber is just where they were. So they are ahead, Uber will follow course. This thing will rise. Well, its business is amazing. It's going into a seasonally strong period of the year. All this thing needs is one positive catalyst, and you can see this thing move much, much higher. But remember, I'm not buying the stock, so we don't care where it goes. But just know that when this thing moves into a position of strength, which is what I teach the guys over when I do the one-to-ones with them, when it moves into a position of strength, tons and tons of opportunity. So I'm telling you guys, when I pull up and do a video and tell you, look, Uber's gone ahead, made 10, 20,000 on this one, you guys aren't confused. You know exactly why. Okay, so again, this name should be on your watch list. There's no move to make. But once this does get into a relative position of strength, it's go time on this one. But guys, that's the video for today. Look out for those names. That should help structure your watch list. Has helped structure what your movements in the markets next week. And you guys will do very, very well off that. All right, so catch all of you guys on the next video.